Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Uh, Another late pop up show, man. We got to stop this late night shit, man. You fucking up my sleep. But
Man, look,
you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
what
And
they say,
we
that's
get.
the young stuff.
Yeah, I'm a unk now, man.
Uh,
So Tony said, "What it is, man. This is an outstanding topic for tonight's
hey,
show, man.
thank you,
Appreciate it, Tony. Appreciate it.
and having
Uncle
this
Lou,
rainbow.
Uncle Lou, thank you for stopping through as always, man.
Bro, what it
Ne-
do?
Nephew gonna be on the show tonight, man. One of the topics on the night. You see him in the background right there. So nephew, man, we gonna talk on it.
I wish nephew was on the show.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Man, let's.
Me and Uncle Lou already talked about it, man. We gonna leave it in God's hands.
Oh
Me
yeah,
and Uncle Lou always talked about it. Already talked about it, man. So if he comes, hey, he gonna still get love from Smitty and A1, man. No matter what happened, man.
yes sir.
Uh, but man, look, tonight's show, right quick, and it might run about 45 minutes to an hour. Because we talking the Falcon free agent shuffle, and what that means. I'm gonna be real with y'all. The free agent shuffle, and that means what Falcons are gonna stay and who can possibly go. What makes sense, salary cap, all this good stuff. And we even have guys who are still on the contract we're gonna talk about.
Mm,
Because one thing about it, you gotta restructure contracts and you got to talk about cap casualties, and that means salaries that have enough, well, little to no dead cap space that you can afford to cut and save money on the backside. And some will be pre June 1st, post June 1st. Kirk Cousins is the first one on this list, but we talked about that last night, so we don't have to worry about that because we know he's only going to have 2.1 against the cap, but they're going to have to pay $27.5 million dead cap space this year and 12.5 next year. So, with that being said, let's get into this first one, man. And
or February 5th. Mm-hmm.
this is one that y'all talked about already, and
Edit that.
well, we talked about already, and we kind of expecting it, but come on, man, where is that?
StreamYard, man, been tripping, man. That's why I've been taking so long. StreamYard, man,
Okay,
stream.
so here go the first one that we gonna talk about, and we gonna put the name up there so y'all know for y'all that don't can't see the number. And this the first one we gonna talk about, man, Mr. Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney is one of those names that just keep popping up because
Mm-hmm.
you look at last season, man, he took a big step back, man. He only had 32 catches for 443 yards and one touchdown. You go back to the season before that, he was 8 yards short of 1,000 yards, and he had five touchdowns. And I know the injury played a part because let's be real,
Definitely.
we was there when the injury happened. We looked at each other like the world about to come to an end because we knew it was gonna be bad.
Yeah,
But Darnell Mooney is one of those guys that stay or go. I'm
yeah,
fine with it. Go
he
ahead.
took a step back, man. I don't think he was fully healthy this year either. After that
No, he wasn't.
collarbone breakage and dealing with the hamstring as well. So it was up and down for Darnell. Quarterback situation was going from Michael Penix to Kirk Cousins. And it still didn't fully work out for Darnell. You think about it, his numbers were pretty much cut in half, especially from receptions, from 64 receptions to 32, 992 yards to 443. Now, of course, he still can get down the field because he still averaged 13.8 yards per catch compared to 15.5 when he nearly almost got to that 1,000 yards. And it's so funny because his longest catch was 49 yards in both seasons, but 5 touchdowns compared to one. You look at the production and you start to wonder if Darnell Mooney should stay or whether he should go.
Yeah. And Drea Mack, thank you for the donation. Truly, truly appreciate it as always. But let's get back into Darnell Mooney. $11 million is dead cap space. So that's the number that we're looking at. I've seen reports that they could save money, but it won't be much. But at the same time, at this point, I don't care if they saving $2.50 because player that's not productive in some a position that you can draft or go through free agency, because there's a wide receiver as was with Dallas last year that I feel like can come in and get him the same amount of production if he's given a chance. And I'll give y'all my my trade target on that probably tomorrow or tonight. I'll make it tonight and drop it tomorrow as a premiere. But wide receiver is one of those positions you can go through the draft as well. So I feel like for what they got Darnell Mooney for, they paid him 3 years, $39 million. And they did rework his contract just a little bit and save $6 million last year, but you still got to pay that on the backside at $4.5 million. So yeah, Darnell Mooney, and y'all can follow along in the chat. Tell us what y'all think about Mooney. But go ahead.
If you cut him, the potential cap savings could be a little bit like about 7.5 million if it's pre-June 1st. But yes, because they did restructure like you said for $6 million in cap space. But honestly, the 2026 cap, it made it skyrocket to over 18 million because of that. Just to give more clarity about what you were saying about the contract now. Again, if you cut them, you still can save 7.4 million in cap space, and you could definitely use that on a pass rusher or just somebody a different position if you wanted to make that cut. But what do you guys think, man? Final decision on Darnell Mooney is like, we know he was injured, and I just want to make that clear. The past 2 seasons, what's been stopping him has been injuries, but that also could be a bad thing. So, guys, I said, what you guys think? Are the Falcons could the Falcons really get rid of Darnell Mooney?
I think to me it's 50-50, and that depends on what his health looks like. And like our boy Shaka said, he injury prone, and I agree with that to a certain extent because he was hurt a little bit in Chicago as well. Yeah. But T-Dub said, stay put him in the slot. I can see that as well because our slot receiver really didn't produce last year. Our best receiver in the slot was our number 1 guy, and our number 2 target was the next best guy in the slot. After them, Bijan Robinson was the best one in the slot. Why? Because Mooney wasn't available as he should have been. I think he played in 12 games, if I'm not mistaken. But you got to take that with a grain of salt because he had that shoulder injury and it was nagging him all season. So he was hit and miss here and there. He was active for some games, but some games he just didn't play. So my personal opinion, if you can find some constructor to do with that money, guess what? I'm cutting him. Go out in the draft or go through the free agency or go through trade and go get another receiver. Like I said, it's one in particular that I'm looking at that I'm going to drop. And y'all going to be like, hey, I don't know. But trust me, sometimes you need a fresh start because when you're in Dallas, you had to worry about Pickens and Lamb. So guess what? You get somewhere else and you shine. Mm-hmm. And you saw what even Darnell Mooney last year. He did have a 1,000-yard season in Chicago, but he got, thrown on the back burner for guys like Keenan Allen. Who else was there before he left? It was a couple more receivers. It wasn't a doomsday. It wasn't a doomsday.
Chase Claypool. Remember they traded
Chase Claypool, absolutely, but he didn't stay long. But I think the guy that I'm looking at, I think he can come in and give you the same as much production as Mooney. But look, I'm telling you, it's gonna be tough to see. Our boy Dirty Bird Gang, what's good, my guy? It was a money signing last season, but I think it was time to move on. Especially you think about keeping Pitts and Allgeier or bringing in another free agent, and that's another thing. You talk about Tyler Allgeier. and he's gonna come up in this post a little bit soon.
Right.
But we'll get into that later. But that's another thing. When we show y'all his market value and that starting point as to where they're gonna start bidding at, it's gonna be something to behold because guess what? I think he's gonna get way more than that. But we will see. But A1.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. But yeah, I was gonna get into it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If it's for me, I honestly would move on from Darnell Mooney. I would go ahead and I would get that 7.4 million, and I would honestly use it in other places. It's not anything personal to Darnell. I'm not saying that he can't do the job. Probably, I honestly believe he could play the slot, but like Hakeem is saying right here, you could draft a wide receiver. I would love Zachary Branch, but the wide receiver market, it's a lot of wide receivers coming out, so you could fit the mold with a lot of one of these guys, have a cheaper contract, and then be like, okay, we can worry about that guy when we get to it. And you can use, again, like I said, that cap space for guys that you may want to keep, like an Allgeier, like a Pitts, whatever. But 7.4 mil, would definitely at least help you out in that regard of trying to at least keep one of those guys in Atlanta, or another guy, just one of those guys.
Agreed. Nando, right quick, he said I wouldn't mind seeing Cole Kmet here as our tight end draft Brent from Georgia to replace Mooney. We're gonna get into that in a minute, Nando. Miss Drill said I don't think he was injury prone. It would seem like attitude change after the I hear you firing. Players get paid to play. Mooney must go. And she makes a great point because we talked about that during the season, the lack of enthusiasm in the wide receiver room. It's just like when Ike Hear You got fired, Ray McLeod got cut, the wide receiver room just got shot to shit. Because think about it. Casey Washington didn't even play. He was a healthy scratch the last 4 games. So Chris Blair did get on the field the last couple of games, but at that point, what did it matter? So when you pretty much lose that part of the locker room, something that's key to moving the football down the field, you can see them dropping passes. You can see them, running lackluster routes, half blocking. I mean, it was just shot to shit after I hear you left, and that's a great point. But
morale of the locker room. Think about that, because cohesion, all that stuff, man. It just you just get rid of a guy that people like. It does, sometimes have dysfunction in the locker room, whether if it's actually public or not. You can have guys with hard feelings, and that wide receiver room did seem a little different when Ike disappeared. So
correct.
Performance.
And this is what we've been talking about. Dirty Bird Gang said the wide receiver class is deep, and this is why you could probably come out this thing if you trade back. And I think they're going to do that. And I'll get into that, another time. But I agree. Wide receiver class is deep, and they have playmakers in this draft. So if you want to strengthen your wide receiver room, this is the best draft, and you have a decent free agency class. And D. Craig said A1 going to be your slot receiver. So
yeah, okay. I'm gonna be out there blocking. That's all I'm gonna be looking to do, y'all. That's all I'm gonna be looking to do.
Yeah, Romeo Dobbs is another good one. Absolutely.
Yeah, he
absolutely.
Good.
So A1, who you got next, man? I'm gonna lean this one on you, this one, because I want to know who you want to throw out there next.
Shoot, man, we can. Oh man, there's some players just to even talk about.
You look, you can throw, let me set it up for you. You can throw out guys that we think could come back, or you can throw out guys that nobody's thinking about that could be a cap casualty or a surprise cut or a trade bait. So either or, you can go either way.
You know what? I'm gonna go Kaleb McGary.
Ooh, boy, you got a good one now. That is a good one, and we're gonna talk about it because we know, and don't get me wrong. He fits what we did when it came to the run game, but now that you have a new offensive line coach, which I know Bill Callahan is one of the best in the business right now, has been for 20 something years. But Kaleb McGary is one name that you got to think about. Coming off a serious ankle injury that caused him to miss all the last season. And they just gave him a 2-year extension. And that started last year at when they signed him to the contract, it was for 25 and 26. So
17 million guarantees.
Man, look, he got most of it up front. So they know if you front load the contract, guess what? Hey, you pretty much good on the back end because that dead cap on the back end only 1.5 million. So that's a potential out after 1 year. And that's how they set the contract up just in case something happened. And guess what? Something did happen. But Kaleb McGary, man, tell me what you think right quick.
Well, I mean, Kaleb McGary, in 2026, if you do cut him, it's like if you do it pre-June 1st, it would be 16 million, 16, nearly 17 million, but you still have a net loss of nearly 1 mil. 2027, you do it for June 1st, you don't get anything. And to what Smitty was saying about that back end, so the post June would be 1.5. So you really don't save anything if you do cut him next year. But about 27. But in 2026, if you're trying to save anything, now would be the year to do it. But honestly, it's tough to say because I feel like the offensive line coach, he needs to meet with everybody. And I feel like he's going to make a decision on what he feel like he can use and what players he feel like he can use. And McGary is coming off of the injury, so I already know. First thing he's going to want to know is how you're feeling, how's the progression coming with the injury, and how soon can we get you in some kind of training? Maybe it may be like at spring, right in the springtime. It may be some kind of like way you can see if he can move, because you got to see how he's moving. Right. So at the end of the day, it still can be before June because they can come to to a decision that Kaleb just doesn't fit what they're going to do moving forward. So we're going to see, man. But it'll be very interesting. I don't necessarily see him going, but it wouldn't surprise me if it did, because that's what happens when new guys come in. Somebody ends up out in the snow.
Yep. And the thing about it, and the big thing is, somebody said, and I just pretty much alluded to it. Uncle Lou said, you got to think about Bill Callahan and what he wants to do. If he feels Kaleb McGary, doesn't fit what he do, and now don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna just put this out there before y'all start judging me. Bill Callahan can make anybody fit. Let's get that straight first and foremost, because he's one of those coaches. If you remember, if you're in my age range, you will know what the Washington Redskins used to do in the 1990s. Bill Callahan was one of those coaches that coached that same style as far as run blocking, as far as pass blocking, physical. And shout out to ATL Sports Zone. He put me up on game about Bill Callahan invented a sleigh for offensive linemen that helps them with their push and their power and, and take their game to the next level. So y'all go check out ATL Sports Zone when he talks about Bill Callahan. Please go check that out. And he lets y'all know that anybody who can invent a sleigh for offensive linemen, they got to know exactly what they're doing and how to adjust, and you talk about technique. Technique is something that Kaleb McGary has struggled with when it comes to speed rushes. Now that we have Bill Callahan, it probably could take him to the next level. The only thing that concerns me now, to be honest, is his age. He's 31. He got drafted as a 25-year-old, and now how much does he have left in the tank? And that ankle injury, to me, that was a sign of age and wear and tear. But we'll see how he comes back, play under Callahan. But again, if they want to move on, this would be the time, like A1 said, because next year that 1.5 would be dead cap, but they don't get nothing in return really.
Yeah. And I know just to let people know real quick, this is kind of like going off the cuff here, but Jake Matthews, for those who are like, well, you can just who are even thinking about trying to cut Jake Matthews, honestly, the Falcons, boy, like they don't get any savings by that because pre-June 1st, just hypothetically in 2026, right? You got a $37 million dead cap hit, and it would cause us to lose.
Oh boy,
yes, and it would cause us to lose $10 million in cap space. But it doesn't stop.
Kicking the can down the road. They've done it 2 or 3 times, Matthews already.
Yeah.
So that's why. But go ahead, my bad.
So the post June would still result in 27 million, and with the net savings would be $0, with an additional still being 10 million of dead cap deferred to 2027.
Wow.
So yeah, that's just one of the.
He's stuck.
Yeah, so he's about to be 34, or he's coming into his 34 for 2026. He is getting a little long in the tooth, but as far as for those who think we're just going to get rid of Jake financially, yeah,
Let's be real, Jacob Falcon for life, man. We already seen it coming, because you got to think it in his blood to play a long time. His uncle played 18 years. His dad played damn near 20 years. His cousin played 11 years. Right. So I mean, it's in his blood to play a long time. Really, to be honest, he's still not playing bad, even at 34 years old. Because you got to remember, I'm old enough to know Jackie Slater. Jackie Slater played till he was 41 years old, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So Jake Matthews got a good 3, 4, 5 years left in him. Offensive. Now, let me tell y'all, anybody that plays in the trenches, they can play longer than anybody, because they're the one dishing out the punishment. They're not taking cheap shots. They're not, getting hit every play. They're only really using their legs to, force leverage. That's all they're doing. That's why they're able to play so long. But when you playing linebacker, running back, and you getting drilled every play, pause, it just, it's just a different thing with offensive linemen. Because Bruce Smith played till he was 40. So, I mean, it's just different with offensive linemen. And Jake Matthews, man, he deserves every dime he's getting, because you got to remember, he's the only player from that Super Bowl team that's still on the damn team.
Yeah, man. That's true. That is true. He's the Iron Man with 191 consecutive regular season games, which is the longest active streak in the league.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Only missed one game in his entire 12-year career. It still is just so funny about how he had a baby and still made the game.
Bro, Arthur Blank sent the jet and picked the man up from the airport and fly back to Charlotte in time for the game, and he made it before kickoff, 45 minutes before kickoff. So when you can do that, you the man.
Yeah.
Drill said, trim the fat wherever it's needed, as long as you leave me with Bijan and Allgeier. I need that Freeman Coleman energy in the backfield. I understand that.
Hello.
I understand that. Like Lo say hello. Hey, yeah, I get that, man. I absolutely get that. But before we go on, man, y'all please drop them super chats. Don't give a damn if it's $2. Throw it our way and throw a question in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Uncle Lou's, like I said, Uncle Lou, he said he gonna build that lineup, and yeah, he gonna do it. B. Robbins said, don't resign Troy Anderson, Onyemata Gwen, cut Bertrand and Mooney. I mean, we can see all of that. NFL draft bus has a strong and skilled offensive class. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is very true. KG said, I don't think Matthews would get traded or cut. Who was going to replace him? Nobody. That's why I said he's not going anywhere.
Exactly. And it don't make no sense cap-wise or contract-wise, not at least this year. I mean, you can. Now, 2027, it does have a little bit more flexibility. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be pre-June. You would save $13 million, and it will leave you still with a $10 million dead cap. So, I mean, that's a little better. But, I mean, regardless, you can – Jake probably going to retire Falcon for real.
Yeah, he definitely will. Definitely. Do y'all think we could possibly trade up into the first round? No, Absolutely not.
It
We only
cost
have 5 picks in this draft. The only way we get a first round pick in this draft is we trade Bijan Robinson or AJ Terrell. That's the only way. And that's not happening either way. No way. So
you.
no first round pick this year. We might as well suck it up. And the point, and honestly, I don't really care because we got a first round pick last year in James Pierce, 10 and a half sacks. What more could you ask for? You got the same defensive coaching staff coming back. So he got 10 and a half last year with experience and, and more teaching, more time in the film room. What you think it's going to look like next year? I can up that number to about 14 or 15.
When the Rams select with our pick this year, I'm gonna throw up. I'm be like, "Welcome to Atlanta, James Pierce Jr."
That's a very smart move. Tony Wright, absolutely true. Bill Callahan, one of the best in the business.
That's the only reason why I felt okay with losing Dwayne Letford, because Letford did do honestly, yeah, I think he did a great job with what he had. And
agreed.
Hey, that's the only guy that you really can say, okay, we're going to move on to upgrade to Bill Callahan. It's just like, oh, well, okay. That's like the only guy that you really can look around and just be like, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's only because he has more experience. That's the only reason. Yeah, B. Robin. Mike Ken did play 17 seasons. Shout out to Mike Ken, him and Bill Fralick, 2 Falcon legends that played a very long time. Yes. And rest in peace to Bill Fralick. He passed away some years back, and he was a Falcon great as well, coming out of Pittsburgh. Floyd, what's up, my guy? Whether we sign tight end Kyle Pitts or not, the team should sign free agent Dawson Knox. And I thought about that too, Tony. I told A1 about that. I think it was yesterday or the day before, because those 2 tight end sets with Buffalo, they the king of it. So, Tony Wright, you just talked it up, man. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to drift on into that. And we're going to go Kyle Pitts. And this is one of the ones that we love to talk about. And don't get me wrong, I'm looking at the tight end. I talked about it last night. Roush out of Stanford. Same type, height at 6'5", about 250. Good hands, excellent blocker. And I think he fills in for Kyle Pitts right away with no problem. So Kyle Pitts in the chat, y'all follow along. Y'all think he's coming back?
Now,
talk to us.
Let's talk a little talk, man. Franchise tag would be anywhere between 15 and 16 mil. 1 year, fully guaranteed. Market value is 14.1 million, and that's so 4 years. That would be 56.4 million. That's what it would be, and everything. And of course, he's eligible to sign that now. I think Kyle wants to get paid. I mean, the market value is 14. I think he's going to ask for probably more than that just because of what the franchise is. Obviously, so any good agent was going to probably push for the 16, maybe even 18, and try to see if we can work our way back. You already know. So, but ultimately, 88 receptions, 928 yards, 5 touchdowns, second team All-Pro. And also just a mismatch every week. What we was talking about, got to get Kyle Pitts involved. He too big for the corners. He too fast for the linebackers. And it's just
right
again.
And the safeties, because he can outrun some safeties as well.
And the safeties. So again, now you can sign him, but again, in order to do that, you're gonna have to make cap clearing type moves. Now, something that you're going to be considering is, of course, when Kirk Cousins get cut, what are you going to do with that money, that $22.5 million? I mean, you still have Jesse Bates. You could trade or restructure. I mean, possibly restructure. I mean, David Amanyata, expiring contract. So it's going to leave, I believe, 2.4 in the dead cap money and stuff. But still, he's going to be. And again, there's other little players as well. I mean, what you're going to do with Charlie Warner, what you're going to do with Mike Ford. So again, it's
Charlie
going to
Warner
be
could be another cut. I think they save about $3 million with him. But go ahead.
Charlie Warner saves 4.75 million, and it would only
that's a good piece of change.
And it would only be 1 million in dead cap. Yeah, and only
That's
1
not
million.
bad. So yeah, it's like 3.75. And if y'all didn't know, Kyle Pitts was a second team All Pro this year. His numbers, they kind of reverted back to his rookie season as far as yards, but he had 88 catches, so he had more targets this year, 118. 5 touchdowns, which was a career high. The crazy thing is, first year, 1 touchdown, second year, 2 touchdowns, third year, 3 touchdowns, fourth year, 4 touchdowns, fifth year, 5 touchdowns.
So that means in the year 10, he's going to have 10 touchdowns, y'all.
It's 2030. So, yeah. So, I mean, look, you can go either way with this. But either way, I think the Falcons, either way they win. And Uncle Lou, you absolutely right. 50-50. Drea said, I think tag and trade, and I could definitely see that as well. Nando said Cole Kmet or Dawson Knox. I can see both of those. Because you got to know that Cole Kmet was in Chicago and Ian actually drafted him. So he knows exactly what he's getting. And they drafted Loveland last year, so they won't have to pay Kmet. And let me see what his market value will be. So
forget about that name.
Oh, you know I was gonna go there. And I think he may be the cheapest out of all of them. So and Cole Kmet, he put up some decent numbers. You know, I think he was a first round pick. And let me see. He has 2 more years on his contract. But if they cut him this year, the dead cap is only 3.2 million. So I mean, if we still go, I think they did sign him to a new deal because it says, no, he's still on a rookie deal, or is he?
We talking about Kmet, or you talking about who you talking about? Kmet?
Cole Kmet.
Yeah, I think he's still on his rookie.
He's actually still on his rookie deal. He actually got signed to a 4-year, $50 million deal because of where he was drafted. So either way it goes, I mean, they keep him or they or cut him, they won't lose anything. It's on 3.2 million. And next year in 2027, 1.6. So you could probably offer up a trade, probably get him for a late round pick, and still win.
See, I'm saying also you got another name you see in Njoku, you see Isaiah Likely. So I mean, Falcon fans are naming other tight ends.
Njoku was with Stefanski in Cleveland. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, of course. My thing is with him, his behind got to stay healthy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And the way Harold Fannin played last year, man, setting rookie records as far as receptions with the Browns and yards. I mean, come on now.
Forget about it.
Yeah, that guy to you.
No, I'm saying just like I'm talking about contract. Yeah, just like we talking about with Loveland, that's Fannon's job. And Isaiah Likely, if he hits the market, even though I think the Ravens like him, it all depends if, you know what I'm saying, he's willing to go back, because they did extend Andrews. And when they did that, I was like, oh man, I don't know if they really believe in Likely. So he could be out of the door too. And, you know, this whole Kyle Pitts thing could blow up. It's like if you keep Kyle Pitts, it's like, you know, you got a weapon. It's just, you know, you got to keep him engaged. You have to keep Kyle Pitts engaged.
You want me to be real with you for a second?
What you got?
I think Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews getting that contract is more of Lamar Jackson than anybody. Because you got to remember, Lamar Jackson made Mark Andrews a Pro Bowler. So that's one of his favorite targets. He's not going to lose that as long as he's in Baltimore. So Isaiah Likely, not having that much experience, but still was putting up numbers before he got hurt. He's more athletic. To me, he has better hands, and he's more dependable. And I just think that Mark Andrews' son had more to do with Lamar Jackson than anybody. But Shaka, thanks for the donation, my brother. He said I want to keep Pitts, but only if it's a franchise tag. He's got to show me another decent season before I give him a long-term deal. And I agree with that. Because after that first season, you got to remember, he fell off after that injury, and it took him a couple of years to get back to being that Kyle Pitts. So I get it. I absolutely get it.
That was Marcus Mariota's fault, by the way. Terrible pass.
Tony said, just to let us know, 49ers salivating and hoping Atlanta lets Kyle Pitts go in free agency. They want him to pair him up with George Kittle, and I can see that because he trains with George Kittle in the offseason, so they know each other very well. So I could definitely see that. And you got to remember, another Falcon that's on this roster played with George Kittle as well. That's Charlie Warner. Depending on what they do with both, either of them could go back to the Bay. Either one of them.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. I think you need to keep Charlie Warner.
Yeah, blocking wise. Hell yeah. Twan said, I can understand Cleveland tight end also about the money, but I think we should find a way to keep Pitts. He's an Atlanta Falcon. I wouldn't be mad either way because, like I said, we know what we're getting in Kyle Pitts, but at the same time, we got other spots we need on the roster. And I'm gonna just put it like this, and I'm gonna make this into a short. When you think about how much Pitts made, and I said this last night for y'all that tuned in last night, if I'm looking at the 15, 16 million in Kyle Pitts, and he's probably going to want maybe 17, Tyler Linderbaum, center for the Baltimore Ravens, is a free agent. And they're going to probably do everything they can to get him back. But if he hits the market and he's around that same price range as Kyle Pitts, you got to make a decision. But since you can go out in the draft or free agents, and y'all threw the names out there that the Falcons could go after as free agents, can come in and do what Kyle Pitts do as far as production, and do better with blocking. Oh, I'm going after Tyler Linderbaum at that same price. And like I told y'all last night, 5 years, $100 million, he here. $20 million even. And I'm going for it.
I ain't gonna lie to you too, just to add this to the tight end talk. My thing is, all right, so you see the 5 touchdowns, right? Now that's fine and that's cool, but I'm looking at it like this. As long as I can get a tight end who, when we get in the red zone, it can be a red zone target, they can have 500 yards on the season, but have 5 or 6 touchdowns. You know, so I mean, regardless, you can still get that production.
Because that means they'll come in and think clutch. Yeah,
you're right. Those are clutch factors that you got to factor in too. So again, I mean, I don't mind keeping Kyle Pitts. That's one of those things where it's like, if it makes sense, keep him. You know, so keep him right here in Atlanta. But if you can use the money to go other places for other needs, because we do have other holes, hey, you got to make the tough decisions. But one thing that is on Kyle Pitts' side is the fact that Kevin Stefanski works with the tight ends well and uses the tight ends well just within his offense. So that is
StreamYard again. But I'm telling y'all, Dawson Knox is actually a free agent, I think. And let's look at his. I'm looking at his stats right now. He hasn't had stupid numbers, but he's been productive. He has 27 career touchdowns, 229 receptions, 2,694 yards, 11.8 yards a catch. And again, he was a Pro Bowler in 2022. So we know what we're getting in Dawson Knox. So you asked, did you tell them what his market value would be?
Market value.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Let's see. His market value is only 4.7. So you would be saving roughly $12-13 million if you go out to Dawson Knox, who can do the same thing that Kyle Pitts is doing.
That's That's something else right there. Let me see. I'm gonna look up one quick market value, and then we can move on.
Okay, take your time, bro.
Uh, okay, Cade Otton. He's going to be looking between 5 and 13 million.
Mm. So you could get in a bidding war for him, but you look at his numbers. He fell off last year because they weren't targeting him as much. Why
They
I
had to
don't
use
know.
blocking. They had to use him for
Yeah,
blocking.
that too.
Remember, they was having trouble on
That
that
too.
offensive line. Had to use him for blocking most
Right,
of the time.
right. So his numbers fell off to 59 catches. Well, actually, he tied a career high last year with receptions, but he only had one touchdown, and that's down from two his first year, for his second year, and for his third year. And he's an excellent blocker, and he's an excellent red zone target. So if you can get him, you said 5 to 13 million. If you can
Mm-hmm.
get him at least 8 to 10, you still win.
I think
And
so.
he's a division rival, so he knows everybody in the division. So you getting a plus in that as well.
It's always a plus to get somebody from a rival.
Hey Willie, hey, we got to do it, man. Two pop up in 2 nights. We got to
Yeah.
do it, Willie. I mean, we got to get y'all this content, man. Got to get y'all
Yeah.
set up, man. We told y'all we was working on it. So once we start working on it, we got to bring it out because we're gonna do some show with free agent targets as well. So
Mm-hmm.
look, trust me. Like I said, when we say we got you, we got you.
Got him coming, Doc. But shit,
Let's see who I want to go with
I'm about to
next.
say, go on, pick the next one, man.
Uh,
Be interesting, right
let's
here.
let's go on and do it, man. Let's go and snatch the band-aid off. Let's
Okay.
go on and do it, man. Let's go on and do it.
We.
I know y'all gonna have a blast with this one, cause it took me a while to wrap my head around possibly losing this guy. But when you look at his market value, and he's earned a big payday because he's had back-to-back career seasons for the Atlanta Falcons. So Kaden Ellis, it's the next guy. A1, what you got?
Man, when I say this one is kind of like, this one kind of chokes you up a little bit. Because, I mean, Kaden Ellis. I'll just say
Come
Kaden
on, man.
Ellis. Kaden Ellis, man, he has been a guy. He's been one of those dudes for the Atlanta Falcons, straight up, man. You think about it, last season, he had what 107 tackles, 3.5 sacks, interception, forced
Right,
fumble, six
right.
pass deflections. But I mean, even the year before that, he had 139 tackles with 5 sacks. The year before that, 107
No,
tackles with
151.
yeah.
151 last year and 122 a year before that.
But
I
still,
know that
but
by
he
heart because I've been pissed off about this choice right here because we're gonna be losing a leader, man. Not only a player, we're gonna lose a leader. But go ahead.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, just last year, 10 tackles for loss, 10 quarterback hits again. So again, like when you have Kaden going after that quarterback, man, he just shines. And honestly, he was one of our guys that was a disruptor, and he helped by disrupting, helping allow other guys to be able to get sacks. So again, man,
Right.
this one is tough. Um, again, we was talking about market value. It's getting up to it's right up there around about 10 mil. At the market value, and that's approximately like 3 years for $28.2 million.
Right.
So that's if you stay there. But we know, I believe me and Smitty, we can agree on this. He's worth more than even 9 to 10 million. Somebody's going to give him probably even more than that. And the guaranteed money, you think about that, because think about how great he ended up leaving. They gave him 28 million guaranteed. You think about the
Right.
guaranteed money as well, and I think if you're not able to match that, you may lose Kaden Ellis. Like seriously.
And I'll be real, A1. He was on 3 years. You said 31 million, right? That no, he was 3 years, 21 million. for this contract. That's only $7 million a year. If you bump that number to 3 years, $40 million, I think we can work with that because that's $13 million a year. And for Kaden Ellis, and I know he's 31 years old almost. I know that. But you know what you're getting in Kaden Ellis. Somebody that can get after the quarterback, somebody that can drop back in coverage, somebody that can, shoot the gaps like they need to, good against the run, good against the pass. Yeah. He's worth every dime. And we talked about Kyle Pitts with his 16, 17 million. You can Kaden Ellis at a cheaper price, and you bring it back a key part of the defense and how he works with Divine Diablo, who I pray they find a way to sign this offseason as well. Those are two guys, and then Jalen Walker. He can play middle linebacker if you need him to. So Kaden Ellis is a key part of this team. And if you can find a way to scrape up the change to keep him here, you find a way to do it. But go ahead, everyone.
No, shoot, man. No, you cooking. I'm looking at with the structural breakdown, the market value. Yeah, bro. I mean, this is a decision that you could make. He is about to be 31 years old, honestly, but I can also see a team like, hypothetically, the Broncos offering him more than what, and why? Because Sean Payton is out there. They honestly, they can use the linebacker. Coach Monroe, they can use the linebacker, his versatility, his leadership. You don't think they would love that in the locker room? Minnesota Vikings can be another destination as well. So I'm just thinking about
your brother Christian out there as well, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
so it's gonna be home,
right?
It's gonna be home.
Like I said, I think you can sign him to a 3-year deal. If you can get, I know you said 40 mil, but I'm not gonna lie to you. If you can get him for 35, I really think you got him for a steal.
Well, let's just say 36 and make it even 12.
Hey, we can do that too.
I can do that. I can easily do that. I think, but again, it depends on what they value the most, and you got to think they got an offensive-minded coach. So if Pitts is who they want, that's who they're going to keep. But again, like I said, there's more tight ends out there that can come in and give you what Kyle Pitts is giving you at a cheaper price, and you use the remainder of that money to go out and keep a Kaden Ellis. So Eric Rodgers, he said, I think we franchise tag Pitts. If we use him correctly, he would totally open up our offense. Kyle Pitts is a freak of nature. 6'6", 250, runs a 4.4. Matt Ryan was the only quarterback that used him correctly.
Man, ain't gonna lie. We also think about it. He was the best target that Matt had on that team at that time, too.
Right. $9 million easily worth it. Absolutely. 200%. And that's why we jacked up the number. Because we know if they get in a bidding war, it's going to be that 12 to 13 range. Because $9 million is for some teams that got cap space that need an edge rusher. AE the Colts, AE the Broncos, AE the Cardinals. I mean, I can go on and on. And Ms. Drill, she said, and thank you for the donation, by the way. She said, Ellis is consistent, great leader, straight dog, pay the man. Don't get no simpler than that.
It really don't. I'm all for keeping Kaden Ellis if you can. I really am. I believe that he's going to be looking for a contract because, again, he is 30, so we don't know if this is going to be like necessarily his last contract. Don't know how long he wants to play type thing. Right. So, because I thought Luke Kuechly would play forever, just how of a high level he did. But you see, sometimes
that neck injury messed him up, though, bro.
I said sometimes your body just fails you, so you just never know, and you want that security. So you got to think about that. He may just go to the highest bidder just for money wise, family wise. I don't know how long I'm going to be playing because NFL also stands for not for long. So I do think about it too, man. If you do get into a bidding war, I mean, there's other guys that you could pivot to, but I've already said it and I'm gonna say it again. If you can't get Kaden Ellis, then go younger. Just go ahead and try to go younger. Extend Diablo and then get him a running mate and Quay Walker. Now he's around in that same projection as far as like market value. Well, just a little bit higher, between 9.6 million and 11.5 million.
I can
But
deal with that too.
right, but he
But
may jump to 100 to 15 million just because he's young. You know what I'm
yep,
saying? So even with that, even if it's at that basement level of 9 million, you're still looking at 3 years, 29 mil. Now on the high end, if you was to have, let's say about 13, let's say you have to pay him 13.5 million, you're looking at 54 million for 4 years. But what is the
yep,
guaranteed money gonna look like too? So he is only 25. You could go younger. You know, he could be there for a while, but Green Bay is going to probably have something to say about that. Other teams with cap spaces also may have to say about that as well. But just already just giving you guys like another player that you possibly could go after that could work in the system.
absolutely, Dirty Bird. Luke Kuechly and Bob Sanders, two good players that injured the rear of
Oh,
their career. My
Bob
boy
said
Shane,
heal himself.
Shane, man, 5'8", bro, 205 pounds. The dude
Chill.
hit like a 6'4" guy. He would knock your block off too, man. But you know, when you that small and you low to the ground, and you just keep hitting, either the neck or that shoulder gonna go. But shout out to my boy Shane, man. I ain't talked to my boy Shane in a while, man. Shout out to you, man. He been one of my day ones, man. He said Falcons need to sign Darnell Washington, and the Kobe Dean middle linebacker could be cheaper and younger. The thing with the Kobe Dean, I think the Eagles get first dibs. And I know they brought in more talent, but if they let the Kobe Dean walk, they crazy. And we could get him at for a better price than Kaden Ellis. But my thing with Kaden Ellis is the leadership and the chemistry he already has with the roster and the coaches. That's something that you get. That's something that money can't buy. That's something money can't buy.
Mm-hmm. By the way, just an update. Uh, I know I just got a text message. I have family in Tennessee. They say they got snow and it's heavy.
And it's heading his way. So
Mhm.
y'all make sure if y'all don't have to be out on that road tomorrow, do not kill y'all ass out there. Smitty telling y'all it's not gonna be good in the morning. It's not gonna
Nah,
last long, but the impact that we do get, it's gonna bring ice. So please stay off the road. If you have to be out there in case of emergency, I get it, but make sure your fridge packed. Make sure you know you have your food to eat. But please do not get out there on that road. My boy
mhm.
Baby Driver say Chris Brazil, and I'm gonna do a draft profile on him coming soon. Actually started on it, but got sidetracked. But yeah, 6'5", 200 and I think 10 or 15 pounds, 4.4 speed, vertical threat. The only thing that I think scouts are worried about is his hands. He's very inconsistent when it comes to using, catching the football. And with somebody that's fast as he is, that can run routes, those hands got to work. So if he gets those hands in order and he gets around the right coaches, I think he can be a beast at the next level.
Yeah, man. I'm with you on that. Oh boy, so I know we're getting
It's
closer
your
to the end.
turn. Yep,
Yeah, we're
getting
getting
close to
closer
the
to
end.
the end.
So
Shoot, man,
we
I'm
got
just gonna
about three more. We got about three more. But
yeah.
go ahead.
Shoot, man, I'm gonna go ahead and just go what you said, rip the band-aid off. I'm just gonna go ahead and go into it. Let's talk about the running back. Let's talk about Tyler Allgeier.
Let's get it, put it on out there, man. Let's go and do it. Cause look, Uncle Lou, me and Uncle Lou already done talked about it, man. He said he fine with it. Tyler
Mm.
Algier, here we come. So running back position. Uncle Lou said, "Here we go. That's it." Uh, since A1 picked, I got to go first. Um, woo. Uncle Lou, I told you this already, man, and I'm gonna stand by it. But first of all, let me start like this. You look at his 4 years with the Falcons, 2,876 yards, 18 touchdowns, including a team leading 8 this year, 516 receiving yards over 4 years, 2 touchdowns, including a 75-yard touchdown against the Chicago Bears. Now, market value 1.8 is the starting spot, as they're predicting.
Mm.
But my number is much higher than that. My number is double that plus tax. I'm going to say $4 million will be the starting price because one, you look at no wear and tear. Two, he's a dual threat guy. Three, he can be a number one on another team. Last but not least, I think he's somebody that you can't replace if you lose him.
Nope.
So I'm telling y'all, when it comes to Tyler Allgeier, this may be the biggest loss the Falcons have had in the last decade. And the reason why I say this, yeah, Uncle Lou, no fumbles, no injuries. The reason why I say this is going to hurt more, because when you look at the dynamic between him and Bijan Robinson, you have your speed and your agility in Bijan that tires defense out. By the time Tyler gets in the game, he wears them down even more. That opens up the pass game, and this is why Kevin Stefanski is going to make this thing work. If they find a way to keep Tyler Allgeier, and I don't think they will, because I think he should be a number one and he deserves that. If they don't find a way to keep him, they damn sure better go out and get somebody that can do what he do. Because you got to remember, and Uncle Lou knows it, he's a former linebacker, so he loves punishment. And he knows how to, find the right holes. He knows who to attack, where the weak spot is in the defense. You can't teach that. So Tyler Allgeier, I think he's going, and I'm fine with it. And I'm at peace with it. And I told Uncle Lou, he deserves it. He deserves his money. He deserves to be a number one running back because he was a 1,000-yard rusher before Bijan got here.
Mm-hmm. He was. He was, man. He was, man. Well, I mean, you already know how I feel. I've already been saying the whole entire time, you got to figure out a way to keep Tyler Allgeier. For me, honestly, just to be fair and to still give him plenty of time to possibly still go get a number one contract, I think you said the market value, you think it can start around
1.8.
Like 1.8.
But I think it's going to start double that. I'm going to start it. So 3 points. So that times 2 is 3.6. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go 3.6 with tax. I'm going to say $4 million, because one thing about it, if you get into a bidding war, $4 million is going to be the least of your worries. Because the running back market is going up and up every year. Mm-hmm. You get Bijan going to be 20-25 by the time he gets his next contract. Mm-hmm. And you can get a guy like Tyler for $46 million a year, and can do what he can do. And I give you a perfect example before you go on, and I don't mean to cut you off. Do you remember LaDainian Tomlinson, what he was doing in San Diego, running for 31 touchdowns in one season? Yeah. Breaking records. His backup, Michael Turner, when he came to Atlanta, he had no wear and tear. Mm-hmm. What does he do his very first game for the Atlanta Falcons? Run for 200 yards, sets a team record, and ends up second all-time in rush yards in franchise history. Tyler Allgeier can have that same impact. Why? Because, yes, he did have a 1,000-yard season. Like Uncle Lou said, he didn't even play all the game that year. He ran for 1,000 yards. Yeah, since Bijan's got here, less wear and tear. So next team he goes to, he just going to knock somebody block off. And I love it. But Dirty Bird Gang, thank you for the donation. He said, keep TA, period. We cannot lose our identity. Point blank, period. But shout out to Uncle Lou, man, for supporting, me and A1, me and Berto, me and Kev. He just been stand-up guy the whole time, man. And he going to still tune in no matter what happens. I know he will, because he's just that type dude. But A1, carry on, man. I didn't mean to go into the left field, but that just had to be said, man, because that just came to mind.
Right. No, but it's just with Tyler Allgeier. Ultimately, like, my whole thing is he's too valuable. I'm looking at it regardless. For me, I don't mind doing a 2-year, $15 million deal. Maybe even depending on what it is, $15 million, maybe with incentives to get up to maybe that to 18. We'll see. Either way it goes. The reason why I say 2-year, because you can still have him for next season and possibly one more season, but he'll still be young enough if he wants to leave Atlanta after that deal, then that would be on him. But I still think he needs to be paid more than what he is, but I still just need him to get paid what his worth is, because his worth is it's you can't put a price tag on a guy who's had 676 carries and hasn't fumbled not one doggone time. You can't put a price tag. You can't really just put a price tag on durability, on the fact that he's only missed one game, and that was in his rookie season, so he played 16 games. But every other season, he's been valuable to you. He's been there for you. At the end of the day, he's still a guy that's still getting out. This past season was his least amount of yards, because 514. But guess what? He had his most touchdowns. He had 8. So, and he had almost nearly 100 yards as far as receiving yards. But still, again, 8 touchdowns. You can't take away from that. Nearly 3 yards per carry, and that's after contact. So that's a guy that loves to he'll dish it out. You can try to bring it to him, but he'll dish it right back out to you. And that was ranked 38th amongst running backs, and he's not even a starter. There's a lot of running backs out there. So you think about it, man. Also the stability, the durability, ball security, all that stuff like that. You got to pay for that. And these two guys can play off of one another. Bajan, he has his change of pace. Bajan, he's powerful too. He'll run you over as well. But Bajan is more so of a change of pace than for what Tyler is. I think they mesh well. I think the locker room, how they are in the locker room, and I think they're the same way when they're out in public, everything. You can't take away these two guys from each other right now, because they are a focal point, and you can lean on the run game. You have two guys. You lose Tyler Allgeier, you will have nobody right now, even if they're coming out of the draft, that will be as valuable and as good for the Atlanta Falcons as Tyler Allgeier. So I'm sorry. So I'm sorry, y'all. Like what's that song? What's that song goes? I'm selfish. I want you to the Falcons. I can't help it. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry, Tyler. I'm selfish, brother. I'm like, at the end of the day, I just know you, man. Tyler should be in the Falcons uniform. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm selfish sometimes.
Shout out to Ghost Pepper, man. He threw up a great stat, man. He said Tyler has proven to be highly productive NFL running back. Top 5. That's right. Top 5 with an 84 point PFF grade. Top 5 over the last 2 seasons. I can definitely see Tyler taking the Michael Turner route. And you can't be mad at that, man, because he needs his money.
He definitely deserves
Uncle Lou Uncle Lou said, man, he gonna always support us, man. We real. We appreciate you, Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou just popped up, instantly became family. Drea said 2026 salary cap, and I saw that today. Thank you, Miss Drea. She said 2026 salary cap is projected to rise between 301 to 305 million, and that's probably about 279. That's anywhere from 22 to 25 million, $27 million. So if they get that salary cap projection and they don't have to pay a quarterback, we can absolutely see Tyler Allgeier back. We can absolutely see Kyle Pitts back, or Kaden Ellis. These guys that we're calling out right now. But but we'll see when it happens, and they still can make moves to free up more cap space.
Yeah, again, I'm hoping that it would happen, because, like, again, it would jump between 22 and 26.5 million over the next once the name. Then you get that absorbed, and then you can make some cuts. Yeah, you can actually kind of balloon it. Maybe, a little bit over 30.
Yeah.
A few cuts.
I can see it getting closer to 40. Yeah. I can see it closer with I saw an article about a week ago, and it was about 4 cuts that they made, and it boosted it up to close to $40 million, just like that, and that's without the raise. So if they get that plus the raise, we're talking about 55, 60. But y'all know we got to have some fun. We got 2 more, but we got to have some fun. What if? And I know y'all don't like what ifs, but what ifs is what I do best. Because when I do my what ifs, y'all praise me sometimes, but sometimes y'all clown me. But that's me. I like to be clown sometimes because it gives me time to think, sit back, and think of something dumber. But guess what? This is a name that nobody wants to talk about. Mr. Jesse
Mm-hmm.
Bates, Mr. Pick Six
Jesse
himself.
Bates.
Yeah. Now, see, this is this was a tough one because, and I know I talked about this, a couple of weeks ago on the show, and saying that I could see him not coming back, and it's not because it's not because of salary, it's just because they already have drafted his replacement in Xavier Watts, who thrived. But I can also see him coming back for his last season. I think he has one more year on his deal, if I'm not mistaken. But
Not guaranteed in
Jesse Bates.
26.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. So if they cut him, no loss. But I started last week. You gonna roll with this one?
Yeah,
And
I got
before you start, um, oh, he does have dead cap space this year. His dead cap space is 18.25.
right.
So he's probably not going anywhere because they restructured his deal and they owe him 7.5 in 2027, no matter if he's here or not, because there's a void.
Yep, that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
they may have already paid him that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 2027, you wouldn't save anything at all if you tried to cut them because pre-June it would be $0. Post-June it would be only that 7.5. And if you try to trade them, you don't save anything either. So that's $0. So if you were going to try to get rid of Jesse Bates, it would have to be in 2026. Because again, like you're saying about the 18.5, and that's pre-June 1st, post-June, you only get 10. So it would have to be ASAP unless you're going to do a pre-June first trade to where you would still say that 18.5. But ultimately, brother, I understand about Xavier's the future, but Jesse is still in the now. I understand like a lot of people didn't check into the Bates Motel like as it has been in the when he first came along. But ultimately, he is grooming Xavier Watts. I think the Atlanta Falcons want to get at least one more season in with Jesse Bates and Xavier Watts back there together as a tandem. I mean, 2027, again, you wouldn't save anything by really like cutting them or anything. But hey, at the end of the day, you got a leader in the locker room again, especially if you lose Kaden Ellis. You don't want to keep losing your leaders and guys and your difference makers necessarily in your locker room. You got to pay somebody sometime. So with that being said, like I think they want to keep, and you got Billy Bowman about to come back as well. You still want to keep those guys together and those guys being able to soak up as much from Jesse Bates before it is time to close the Bates Motel.
So, but I give you, I redeem myself. Okay. I actually think they could sign him to another extension this year, just like they did Kaleb McGary. You sign him to an extension, and you save money on the back end of that, because if you sign to a new deal, that opens up more cap space. And you look at the season he's had since he's been in Atlanta, 3 seasons now. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but 132 tackles his very first season here. And the pick sixes came because he had, I think, one in each of the first 3 seasons. 6 interceptions the first season, 4 the next, 3 last season. So you talk about 13 interceptions over 3 seasons. It's gonna be hard to replace that. And he's a 2-time All-Pro.
There you go.
Yeah, he may stay, but I'm just saying, like my boy, let's get it say, just expect the unexpected, because new staff, new regime, they may want to do things their way, but what the saving grace is, we had the same defensive coaching unit, which is why they could sign him to another extension, 2 to 3 years, and guess what? You find a way to keep Kaden Ellis. You find a way to keep a Tyler Allgeier. Pitts can still go, but if you keep those 2 key guys with the extra money that you pick up and the $21 million that you're going to get on top of that, oh yeah. So it was just a thought that
Hey
Maybe
man, hey,
he could move on, but at the same time, he could be extended and still save cap space.
you got to talk about this type of stuff though,
You got to.
because a new coaching staff and new everything has come in just about. So you got to have these
Hey,
conversations.
no salty takes here, bro. We just keeping it out in the open and we be honest about things. It ain't got nothing to do with being salty. We just keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
What if?
Spray those salty takes on the icy roads.
Hey, I got one better for you. I go like TikTok said, get a thing of lemon pepper and spray that on the street.
Hey
So,
man, pepper, lemon pepper.
could Billy Bowman play free safety if he too small at 5'9"? He was actually a safety. So nah, he wouldn't be too small because just like we just said earlier, Bob Sanders was 5'8".
Right.
May have been smaller than that.
I think they may. It'll be interesting because it's like, all right, the season that D Alford had. Do you bring D Alford, keep him in the slot, and
I
then
think
you
you absolutely got to keep the offer, but I think he'll be more of an outside guy or he'll be a rotational piece, and he won't cost as much.
Well, it all depends because I know I ain't gonna lie, D want to get paid, man. So
yeah, I mean he'll get a raise because of the minimum scale, but it'll be another bidding war with him too, because who was the defensive coordinator? Nah, not Jimmy Lake. Who was here before Jimmy Lake?
Dean Pease.
Okay, so
I'm sorry, Ryan Nielsen.
Okay, so yeah, wherever Ryan Nielsen is, he could bring D in. Yeah, so he'll find a spot because he's talented. He quickly became one of the better slot corners in the league last year.
That's why
and you can debate that with whoever you want.
That's why I really want to keep him in the nickel because he was flourishing before the injury. Like I don't necessarily want to change.
But what do you do in that case? Do you rotate him in Billy Bowman, or what do you do? Play more dime defense? What?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like this. Billy was the starter to begin with. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, D, are you going to be depth or are you trying to start? If we're trying to start, then we have to have a different conversation because, again, I don't think they're getting rid of Jesse. And at the same time, you got a Xavier. So you don't have a spot. So you got to figure that out as well, too, as far as are you going to re-sign D or are you going to believe in Billy? So that's another. So really, we just caused another topic within the topic.
Yeah, that's position battle, and they could still re-sign the offer, but and he could actually move over to the number 2 if need be, and that's what he brings. He brings depth at the cornerback position, and he brings depth at punt return. So I mean, look, one thing about D is athletic and D is versatile.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to D, man. Ghost Pepper said, in my opinion, we need to keep Beatty due to his elite performance as a playmaker and as a defensive leader, a reliable starter who has not missed a game for the team, providing stability in the secondary. 200% correct. And that's why I said, Tony, if you need to, it won't hurt. Going to get a man a 2-year extension. You're going to save money either way. Going to give him an extension. Save money.
He is valuable. I'm sorry. He's valuable. He's always been valuable. I know some people like, my thing is people mess up on the field. People have bad games, all that stuff like that. But you just think about everything that Jesse Bates has done since he's been a Falcon. He's worth the money and he's worth keeping. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, man. But I know we got one last one, and it's so funny because this one is one I was hyping up. But hey, he just didn't make it, man. He just didn't make it. Oh no, this ain't one I was hyping up. This another guy. This another guy.
Well, we'll do yours too. Well, we'll do this and then we'll make this one quick. Mike Hughes had trouble last year, and they just had signed to a new 3-year deal. But his cap space, his cap number is not that big. So when you look at his cap numbers, Not that big at all. And then his production was not really there last year. He's another one of those guys. You get a nickel corner, you get a outside number two guy, and you get a punt returner. But
Mm.
if you cut ties with him this year, the dead cap space is 6.6. So I feel like you may be stuck with him one more season, and you can go to the over the cap and check out the pre and post June cut numbers. But on Sports Rack, it says he has 6.6 dead cap space, and his salary is only 3.3. Now next year, scot free, only 1.6 in dead cap space. So do they keep him for one more year for depth, or do they find a way to get off that contract?
Man. I think they got to try to figure out a way to get off the contract. Um, Dang, that's tough though, because it's just, I mean, man, that's tough. But I think they got to try to figure it out. That's just, I'm trying. I'm not don't have any personal feelings and everything. I just feel like we got to try to do better than Mike Hughes.
Agreed. And again, like y'all saying in the chat, you can probably you find his replacement in the draft, Dirty Bird. You're right. Because I mean, the second, third round, like I told y'all, it's a toss up for me in the second round. Either go wide receiver or cornerback. Either way, you won't miss. But with a $3.6 million cap hit, that's not much, and they could find a way to fight through another year. But at the same time, I think with that 3.3, he'll be more of a rotational guy. He won't be a number two. Somebody can come in and beat him out for that number two position, especially with a new coach. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
Miss Drill said Hughes can go,
Yeah.
and Dirty Bird said I would try to move on. Nando said Hughes won't be back next season. We would draft his replacement. We haven't drafted a quality cornerback since AJ Terrell. He's getting old too, and he's actually not old. He's still only what
AJ really coming in his
27.
prime for real.
Yeah, he's really still in his prime at 27. So yeah, he's 26 or 27. He's still young.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris said he had one more. So what I'm gonna do? I'm going to play the coach, and you give us that last one.
Well, Lord have mercy. It is Arnold Ebiketie.
Right. I forgot about that. My bad.
Second round pick, in the 2022 NFL draft.
I put a picture of him up, but
now,
I mean, hey,
now Arnold, he's had 46 QB hits just in his career, 129 tackles, and 16 and a half sacks. Now, 24 and 23, he had 6 sacks back to back. But also this past season, he took a step back, and he had his lowest total since his rookie season, and which was 2 sacks. Now we know a part of that. James Pierce, Jalen Walker, Brandon Dorless, Zach Harrison, all those guys had better numbers than Arnold Ebiketie, and they used the opportunities that they had to get what they got. And that's my point. You got to use your opportunities, and you have to be able to execute and not, like over pursuit, because that's one thing that Arnold does. He over pursuits, and he'll miss a sack. He'll run right past it. So again, it's a premium position. So I do believe that is something, a talking point, and something to think about. Regardless, he's in the system, and he can see somebody that can get out to the quarterback. You don't want to just necessarily just cut that guy unless it makes sense, unless you have something to replace it. But look like the projected market value is about 8 to 9 mil per year for Arnold. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Me personally, yep. I don't think I'm going to offer him 8 to 9 million. But what do you think, Smitty? I mean, you think?
Okay. I agree. I would be iffy with that $9 million. Now let's give some comparable players that they are comparing him to as far as salary wise. And they're saying, 2 years, about 15 million, somewhere in that age. Patrick Jones, edge rusher Patrick Jones, Anthony Nelson, Carl Granderson, who I thought would probably be a little bit higher, but he did sign a 4 year, $52 million deal. And he and Arnold's probably in that price range if he signs a new contract. But I'm gonna be real. The highest I would probably go is probably 6.5, 7. And why? Because he took a step back this year as far as sacks. Previous 2 years, 6 sacks. Then take a big dip like that. And like you said, it's because of playing time and rotation, because of Jalen Walker, James Pierce. You can even say Leonard Floyd. So
And Floyd
yeah,
definitely.
he just got caught up. Got caught up in the mix. But 9 million, I don't think I can do that one.
Also, you think about this too. He had a 16.4% pressure rate, and that was one of the top marks in the league. So his agent can say that, hey man, he was getting to the pressure. But it also reminds me of when we had Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree would almost get there and just wouldn't be able to get there. So yeah, he's providing the pressure, but I mean he doesn't have the sack number. So again, we got to talk about that. And that's his job, to sack the quarterback. And if you're not sacking the quarterback, especially in a contract year, when alterations are made and you just couldn't adjust, it's like, all right, what's the number that we're talking about here? So I think the Falcons can still offer him a decent contract, but if he's starting to go trying to balloon it too much, I like, for example, if he wants like 3 years, 28 mil, I can't do it.
Yeah, I think at best he could get. I'm looking at 2 years, 15 million. That's 7.5 a year. That's more than fair. And I think he'll be more of a rotational piece than anything. So if you sign him as a rotational piece, 7.5 is probably going to be his limit. But Dirty Bird Gang said Trice Dunn, I believe, injury prone, hasn't even touched the field. Yeah, it's tough, man. And you got to factor that in with the new coaching. Now, his saving grace may be he worked with the defensive staff last year, and they may try for one season to see what they can get out of him, to see if they can salvage anything out of it. But 2 years, two knee injuries doesn't look good. But to save face and have another body on the roster might be his saving grace as well, being on a rookie deal. So they may stick with him one, maybe 2 more years to the end of his contract, and then after that he's gone. But at least one more year to see he can finally get over that knee injury and try to produce something. Drea said AK thought he was leaving anyway. Let him walk. We
Yep.
can get better production and draft a free agent. Now he did put out a tweet that saying, you know, some new coming, but it never happened because they couldn't find the right trade partner.
Yep. And that's what happens. It takes two to tango. And I wouldn't even have done that, to be honest. But either way it goes, he did.
I mean,
And
hey, he thought he was gone, man. I mean, what can you do?
I mean, yeah, you thought it was good, but he didn't even leave. So it just so now it just looks even crazier. It reminds me of our truth when he thought he got fired. He went out there to
But
Twitter.
but I think that was more of his agent. Agent probably provoked him to do that, to force a move, and it just backfired. Cause
Yeah.
sometimes agent they play dirty too. They play dirty.
Oh, I know it. We had that situation happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, man. But either way it goes, man. Guys, this been awesome right here.
Hey man, I love this quick pop up, man, to talk about this because, like I said, we told y'all we was working on it, but had to find time, and it was already something to talk about. Because shout out to Tony Wright, man. Tony Wright gave us the boost we needed to start the show, and we rolled right through it, man, with no problem.
Yes,
But
sir.
you know what to do, man.
Hey man, A1 Forever Sports, that is the platform on YouTube. Please come over, be a part of the A1 family. Always love to have each and every last one of y'all. Make sure y'all find y'all peace today, because positive energy always creates elevation. Thank y'all for joining us. It's 11 o'clock on a Friday night, but I'm glad that y'all came and joined me and Smitty. And we always thank you guys, okay? Like, for real, because Like,
hey man, there ain't time to drop the mic yet, man. Stop making all that damn noise.
hey man, I'm
Talk
just
straight.
saying, man. I'm trying to straighten up the mic, man. The mic trying to drop. No, but all jokes aside, man. Also, Twitter A1 Forever, Instagram A1 Forever, the real A1 Forever on TikTok, and again, man, Hawks Digest as well. Atlanta Hawks, trade deadline getting closer. We're gonna see what the Atlanta Hawks are gonna do, and as always, man, appreciate y'all because hey, ain't nobody got to do anything for you, so we really appreciate everything that y'all do.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, man, early in the show, man, y'all please, if y'all can, stay y'all ass at home tomorrow because it's gonna be dangerous out there on them roads. Snow might last 3 to 4 hours, but that ice is gonna pick up right where the snow left off. So we don't want y'all sliding all over 285 or I-20. Please stay at home if you can. And as always, man, we always appreciate y'all coming through. And before we get out of here again, thank Miss Drill for donation. We truly appreciate her. Appreciate the content. Be blessed. Thank you. You be blessed as well. Like I said, Miss Drill, please stay at home if you can. If you ain't got to go nowhere, or anybody in the chat, y'all ain't got to go nowhere, please stay at home because those roles will be nothing to play with tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Don't be like, hey, try to go to the store.
Man, you don't sit your ass down somewhere.
But
yeah, man. Also, man, again, great pop-up show. Like Willie say, hit the light on the way out the door. Oh, she said she in Florida. She good to go.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Yeah, she can sunbathe butt naked on the beach if she wanted to. But look, if you in Atlanta, 285 I-20, please stay y'all ass off the road, man. I'm just being real with y'all, man, because it's just no joke out here. It's no joke. And, people drive worse, even worse when the weather bad. So
facts.
That just something I know. Driving, I've been driving 30 years and 32 years. And it's been the same thing all the time. It's rain, they driving fast. It's snowing, they slide down the street, still trying to match the gas. So it happens. But tell everybody where to find you, man.
Shoot, I already did. It's time to go.
Okay, see, that let you know I'm sleeping right there.
Time to go get some sleep.
Yeah. Find you on Twitter at FatboySlim_21. Also find me on YouTube as I drop my latest videos, man. Videos went crazy yesterday, man. The Ian Cunningham, both of those went crazy. The live went crazy. But, draft profiles, free agent targets, trade targets, all that's still yet to come. And I'm probably going to be working on the video tonight after this show to put out tomorrow as far as free agents or the draft. But I'll see what that end up being. But thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's been another great show. And we will see y'all soon on the pop-up show. We don't know when. If news break, y'all know we got you. But for now, we're going to holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.